Okay, class, good day. Nandito na tayo sa lesson 9 para sa ating DEPC 100. Okay, so ngayon tatalakayin natin yung tinatawag nating primary roles of communication. Kung yung isang topic na pag-aralan natin ang different medias of communication or media of communication, dito naman aaralin natin kung ano-ano ba itong mga primary roles ng communication. Okay? So let's move forward. For your learning outcomes, syempre kailangan nating ma-explain yung function of communication in development. Okay, so dito class, when we say primary roles of communication, meron tayong considered na 6 na primary roles of communication. And added to it class, yung pang-7 that is the role of communication in development. Pag-aaralan natin yon sa huling part ng slides na to or nung PPT na to. Okay? For the primary roles of communication, the first one, the communication has a role in education. So we have here the communication in education. Next, we have here communication in decision making. And then communication in problem solving. That is the third. And punta tayo sa pang-apat. We have here the role of communication or roles of communication in conflict resolution. And then fifth, we have here communication in social mobilization. So paano ba napagagalaw o paano ba nai-empower ng communication yung tinatawag nating social mobilization? That is, you empower people to act, okay? And next, we have here the role of communication in terms of the governance and values. So, saan nga ba nagmi-meet ang gobyerno, ang values, at ang mga ordinaryong citizens? Okay? Ang mga ordinaryong tao. So, yun yung pang-anim. Now, talakayin na natin. Ano ba yung role ng communication in education? So, class, dito, na-explain na natin dati na sa education class, napakahirap namang mag-educate ng mga learners if we don't have communication, tama? So, yun na yung pinaka-essence nito. Mapa-teacher ka man, mapa-estudyante ka man, when you are trying to educate or when the education is at stake, yung communication class is always vital because dyan nagmi-meet. Yan yung convergence zone, okay? Nung tinatawag nating knowledge na gustong ibahagi ng teacher sa kanyang mga estudyante. At dyan din naman na pararating ng mga estudyante yung mga tawag dito, kinakailangan pa nilang matutunan. So makikita yun ni teacher and that is, yun yung parang magiging tawag dito, meeting point nila kung saan sila magtatagpo and then para eventually ma-facilitate yung learning sa isang classroom. Okay? So yan, tingnan natin. Communication in education. Let's read it. As an educator, communication skills are important requirement for your job. Okay? Effective communication benefits everyone. It helps improve relationships, increase the understanding, and model the positive interactions. Okay. Sinabi ko na din kanina na sa pamamagitan ng pakikipag-communicate, okay, effective communication class sa isang classroom, mas nafa-facilitate natin yung tinatawag nating sustainable learnings. Ito ay sa pamamagitan, sa pagitan ng educator, ng inyong instructor or teachers at ninyo mismong mga learners. Okay? So dito class, lagi nating tatandaan, yung effective communication class is benefiting everyone. And always remember yung palagi kong sinasabi na ang effective communication class ay napatutunayan hindi lamang kung yung mga audience mo ay nakikinig sa'yo, kundi nakikita mo yung impact ng learnings na naibabahagi mo sa kanila. Sa paanong paraan? Ito bang mga batang to nagiging participative? Are they acting? Para sila na mismo yung parang maging tuloy-tuloy yung kanilang pagkatuto. Okay? So let's move forward pa. Next, meron tayong tinatawag na importance of communication in education. Dito class, tingnan natin to. Basahin ko ha. Good communication minimizes the potential of unkind feeling during the process of teaching because an effective communication class validates everyone. Okay? Next, communication is dynamic process. Ibig sabihin, class, it is ever-changing. That needs of mind and courage to face the other and convey his or her message in an effective way. Okay? So class, it's a dynamic process na sinasabi rito na kinakailangan daw natin. Okay? Na i-face kung ano man yung mga parang fears natin, kung ano man yung mga parang difficulties natin in order for us then na makatulong, 'di ba? Na i-communicate yung message natin doon sa taong kausap natin in a effective way. Plus, kasi kapag hindi natin naiparating ng maayos yung message natin, alam niyo yun, yung parang you're in a constant tug of uh, hindi ka maintindihan. So it's all up to us then on how we're going to work on ourselves para din ma-improve yung communication skills na meron tayo. Okay? Next, number 3, communication skills involve listening and speaking as well as reading and writing. Next, good communication skills for the teacher are basic need of the academic success of the students and the professional success of life. Pansinin natin yung mga teachers na tawag dito, magagaling mag-communicate with their students ay sila din yung parang tawag dito, mas nakapagbibigay ng karunungan, 'di ba? Nung learnings na kinakailangan ng mga bata. Sabi ko nga sa inyo class, kapag teacher ka, kinakailangan okay yung communication skills mo, okay? Wag yung parang level lang na parang tamang pumasa. Okay? Pero class, sasabihin ko rin naman, your teachers, meron din silang iba-ibang strengths and then weaknesses. Okay? So yun. Next, effective communication skills are really important for teacher in transmitting education, classroom management, and interaction with students in the class. So palagi nating tatandaan, ginagamit yung salitang effective. Effective communication skills. Bakit class? Pag sinabi nating effective, nandyan na lahat yung parang skill set na dapat ay tinataglay mo. Okay? In order for you to be considered as an effective communicator. Now, puntahan naman natin yung roles of communication in decision making. Tingnan nyo nga class, pag nag-slow down tayo and we try to reflect on this lesson slowly, magigets mo na yung essence niya eh. That communication has a role, a key role in decision making. Plus, walang nakapagdedesisyon ng hindi nag-usap. At kung meron mang nakapagdesisyon ng hindi nag-usap, 'di ba? If it's all about the relationship, 'di ba, class, may mga parang downside ito. Okay? So 'yan. Yung communication, may mahalagang role pa rin in terms of decision making. Alamin natin. So class, ito, communication in decision making are dynamic process essential for an organization's functioning. So communication involves the transmission of information among individuals and subunits. Ibig sabihin, class, kapag hindi effective yung pagpapababa natin ng isang information, ay maapektuhan nito yung entire communication process ng isang organization. Okay? Yung mga individuals na bumubuo sa bawat units na to. Class, para yung isang may domino effect yan eh. Kapag yung isang unit class ay hindi nakaunawa ng information na tinatry nating ipaabot, doon mangyayari yung parang lapses. Okay? Lapses doon sa dapat learnings or information na dapat ay nagrasp o nakuha. And that could lead to a failure. Okay? A failure nung aim nung organization na yon. Okay? Eto pa class, decision making uses information to set direction and solve problems. Ang ganda nun, 'di ba? Decision making uses information to set direction. Okay? Because when we have information, yes, the next step to it is to have a clear directions, to have the clear path of what you are going to do next. Okay? And that could lead eventually to solving the problems that will arise. in an organization. Okay? O present na mismo doon. Okay? So yun ang role ng communication in decision making. Ito pa class, importance of communication in decision making. Ano-ano yung mga na-foster kapag merong effective communication class, epektibong pakikipag-usap, okay? Na-foster nito yung tinatawag nating collaboration, participation ng bawat isa. Next, public speaking, 'di ba? Listening, nonverbal communication, and then written communication. So yan yung ilan lang sa mga importance ng communication in decision making. Sa panong paraan, sige isa-isahan natin. Importance of communication in decision making in terms of collaboration class, eto na nga, when we are communicating something, we foster collaboration because you are wanting the other party rin na malaman kung ano yung insight niya. Okay? In in public speaking, when you are when you are a public speaker and you know how to communicate effectively, yung tawag dito, yung decision making skills mo ay dapat medyo mataas. Kung ano yung tawag yan, nasa isip yan ng mga public speaker class eh, kung alin yung ilalabas na information and kung alin yung not. Kung alin yung information na kaya mo i-sustain and kung alin yung information na parang limited lang yung iyong kaalaman. So when you know how to communicate class, hindi lang din public speaking na to ha, when you know how to communicate hindi lang sa public, but you also know how to communicate parang internally, okay? Intrapersonally sa yung sarili. Alam mo yung strength mo, alam mo yung capacity mo, yung weaknesses mo. Okay? Next, the importance of communication in decision making in listening. Class, ayan, napo-foster nito yung kakayanan natin na makinig sa kapwa. Okay? Next, in nonverbal communication, it's the same way sa listening. And then, ganun din naman yun, class, for the written communication. So, yun. Next, meron tayong rules of communication and problem solving. Nasabi na natin kanina, in decision making, next na dyan, class, is to solve problems. Tama? So, alamin natin. Communication in problem solving. So when organizing and operating a value-added business, disagreements can arise among committee members or project managers over how to solve problems facing the project or business. So using good communication skills can help the group find what we call solutions needed. Okay? So yeah. Parang almost related siya kanina dun sa kung paano nato na-foster yung tinatawag nating collaboration, listening to other people, 'di ba? Kaya makakatulong talaga ang communication sa pagso-solve ng isang conflict or problems. Okay? Oh, its importance in problem solving. Unang-una, communication makes everybody feel like they have been listened to and that their opinions matter. Okay? It's when we make other people feel na valid yung kanilang claims. So, pag kasi na-feel natin sa kanila na valid yan, they will feel safe na mag-open sa atin and therefore yung problems mas nabibigyan natin ng solution. And next we have here, communication can propose a solution and invite other suggestion. Yung openness na to class ha, na-foster ito yun when you are open for a dialogue and then solving conflicts, okay? Noon pa lang mangyayari na magiging capacitated yung both parties to actually solve the problems arising in an organization or in a group na sila ay present. And then the third one, communication can express how the situation make you feel. Okay? Sa pagiging open pa rin to class. The concept of being open to the other people na iyong kausap. That is the role of communication, okay, in problem solving. So now, class, pumunta na tayo dito sa communication in conflict resolution. Okay, 'di ba? Problem solving na. You're trying to solve the problem by talking kung ano tong mga problems na to. And dito class, it's when we say conflict resolution, how are we going to negotiate with these problems? Okay? That's what we are referring here in communication in conflict resolution. So let's move further. Okay, so yan. Kapag pareho ang eto sa picture na 'to class, kapag pareho ang tao na maraming iniisip, maraming nasasabi, 'di ba? At, walang naggustong mag-slow down, the conflict will arise. Lalaki 'yan. Eh, ano ang role ng communication para ma-solve ang conflict na 'yan? Alamin natin. Unang-una, communication has a big role to play in conflict resolution. Conflict involves dealing with people with different backgrounds and experiences. So each with their own way of dealing with information. Lahat ng tao class sinasabi lang dito na we are having different capacities on how to handle different information being thrown at us, thrown to us. Okay? So, kaya nga yung ibang mga tao class, merong mga tao na parang natitempt or they are prone to what we call information overload. Okay? So, yan. Yung conflict daw class, it involves in dealing with people with different backgrounds and experiences. Okay? So, lahat yun, an effective communicator knows how to, tawag dito, classify kung ano yung background ng kanyang audience, ng kanyang kausap. Ano yung background nito? Enough ba para maintindihan niya ako or maintindihan niya yung gusto ko iparating? Kung naalala nyo yung Perlo's communication model, tama? The SMCR, the sender, message, channel, and then receiver. That the sender, meron siyang different na pinagmulan and ganun din naman yung receiver. And then silang dalawa ay may different capacity class to understand an information, 'di ba? Na tawag dito, ipinararating nila. So kailangan in order for that sinasabi ng model of communication na yun, that linear model of communication na kinakailangan ang sender pareho at ang receiver class ay merong common ground at least, 'di ba? Para alam nila on how they will meet halfway. Okay? Para yung information na gusto nilang makuha, yung mensahe na gusto nilang maiparating ay, alam niyo yun, mas maging effective, mas maging malinaw, mas maging understandable in both parties. So dito naman class, sa conflict class, ang role ng communication in conflict resolution is to understand these backgrounds and experiences and to come up on how we are going to negotiate doon sa commonality ng mga tao na yon. Okay? So, eto class. The most important aspect of conflict resolution is recognizing a conflict. Okay? Recognizing a conflict and being able to actually deal with it. Yon. Hindi pag-iwas class, kundi pagharap mismo dun sa conflict na yon. Harapin mo para mabigyan mo ng solution. So that is the most important aspect daw of conflict resolution. Okay? You deal with it and use the power of communication kung paano mo masosolve itong conflict na ito. Okay? So class, eto. Meron tayo ditong model na binuo ni Thomas and then Kilman class na meron daw 5 basic ways on communicating and negotiating sa conflict. Sino nga ba muna? Si Thomas and then Kilman. So eto, sinasabi dito that Thomas Kilman, dalawa yan. Unang-una dyan si Kenneth W. Thomas and then si Ralph H. Kilman. So lahat sila ay dalawang researcher, okay, na bumuo ng tinatawag nating Thomas Kilman model. So it's a conflict mode instrument. Remember the term conflict mode instrument that is widely used in terms of psychology class and then in communication management and then organizational behavior. Okay? Kung paano ma-solve ngayon yung tinatawag nating conflict na nag-a-arise sa isang organization. So alamin natin kung ano-ano nga ba yung 5 basic ways of communicating and negotiating a conflict. Okay, class. So eto, meron tayong tinatawag dito na, ayan, tingnan natin, may tinatawag tayo ditong the conflict management according to Thomas and then Killman. So this model explains that people handle conflict using 2 dimensions. Okay, may mahalagang dimension tayo na babanggitin dito. Ano ba yung 2 dimension daw na yon na ginagamit ng tao para ma-solve yung conflict? Unang dimension, class, yung tinatawag nating assertive dimension. And then we have also the cooperative dimension. When we say assertive dimension, this also refers to the what we call assertiveness. It's how strongly you try to meet your own needs. Okay? It's all about you. Gaano mo ka gusto ma-meet yung needs mo? Okay? That is on the assertiveness side. Okay? On the assertiveness dimension, pumunta naman tayo dito sa cooperative. Cooperative class or cooperativeness refers to how much you try to meet the other person's needs. Okay? Paano mo naman gustong ma-meet yung pangangailangan ng kapwa mo? Pag pinag-combine mo daw ang assertiveness and then cooperativeness class, makakakuha tayo ng 5 conflict handling styles. Ano yung 5 conflict handling styles na yon? Ayan, class. Papasok na dyan yung tinatawag nating competing, collaborating, compromising, avoiding, and then accommodating. Depende kung gaano kataas yung pagiging assertive mo o gaano kababa. Gaano kababa yung pagiging cooperative mo, gaano kataas yung pagiging cooperative mo. Para mabuo tong 5 conflict handling styles na 'to. So, alamin natin kung ano-ano yung mga yan. Explain ko lang sa inyo. Meron tayong tinatawag, class, unang-una, yung competing. Okay? It's when the assertiveness is higher. It's when the assertiveness is higher than being cooperative. Ibig sabihin, class, dito nangyayari you stand your own ground. Gustong-gusto mo ma-win yung isang argument. You prioritize your own goals over the others. So you compete. Okay? Often, often class, ito ay ginagamit when the time is limited and there is a need for the decision na magawa na on time. Okay? So ito class, hindi na natin, ito class sa competing, hindi na natin pinakikinggan kung ano yung sinasabi ng iba because there is a need for the decision to to be made. Okay? Critical na yung oras. Kaya gumagana na yung pagiging assertive natin. Okay? Halimbawa, class, ayan, nasa isang kumpanya kayo and your boss, okay, insist on a safety rule. Ibig sabihin, may safety rule kayong kailangang sundin. Kahit pa yung mga employee ay hindi masyadong mag-a-agree doon. Pero boss is boss and sa isang company, sinasabi that boss is always right. Okay? So, yan yung tinatawag nating competing. The first handling style, competing. Mas mataas yung pagiging assertive mo kumpara sa pagiging cooperative mo. Okay? Pumunta naman tayo sa ikalawa. May tinatawag tayo, class, na accommodating. Okay? Yung accommodating, this is much smoother. Tingnan mo, katapat siya ng competing, parang ka-opposite siya. Accommodating class. Eto, class, yung low yung assertiveness mo. Parang hindi mo pinuput masyado yung pangangailangan mo because you are much more cooperative. Okay? Low assertiveness, high cooperativeness. You put the other person's needs above your own. You choose to keep your peace rather than to fight. Okay? You tend to accommodate na lang kaysa makipag-away pa. So it's useful when the issue matters more to other person. Kapag yung issue na tinatry ninyong isolve ay mas mahalaga or mas nagmamatter pala para doon sa taong kausap mo. Okay? So, ito yung ginagamit natin. Accommodating. Yan. Halimbawa, si friend mo malungkot. Gusto mo siyang tulungan dun sa kalungkutang nararamdaman niya. So, gusto mo, sabi mo, kain kayo. Or sabi mo, anong gusto mo? Kain tayo o pasyal lang? Nag-decide si friend na pumunta lang kayo daw sa isang tahimik na lugar kung saan mailalabas niya yung kanyang emotions. So, that is accommodating. Inallow mo siya na gawin yung bagay na yon para sa kanyang pangangailangan. Low assertiveness, high cooperativeness mo. Okay? So, yan. Now, puntahan natin yung ikatlo. Meron tayong tinatawag na avoiding. Class, eto naman class, low lahat. Low ang assertiveness, low din ang pagiging cooperative. Okay? So, yan. Ito yung you withdraw or delay dealing with the conflict. Ayaw mo na talaga totally magkaroon ng contact with that conflict. You avoid confrontation or hope na hinuhope mo na lang na mag-disappear na yung issue without actually participating doon sa pagsosolve ng issue na yon. So ito, useful to class para sa mga maliliit na issue o kapag yung emotion natin ay too high to handle. Okay? Mas mabuti na hindi muna tayo mag-respond kaysa mag-respond ka at mali naman din yung masabi mo. Halimbawa class, sa case ko, kapag ang teacher, pag ako ay parang na-overload na ng mga message ng mga estudyante ko, hindi na muna ako nagre-respond dun sa mga message kasi hindi naman lahat ng message parang karapat-dapat na mabigyan ng pansin sa dami na din ng iniisip. Okay? So, yun yan. Avoiding. Babalikan mo na lang kapag kaya mo na. Okay? Now, we have here yung ikaapat, compromising class yung tinatawag natin na yan. Ito naman class medium. Nasa medium level yung pagiging assertive at nasa medium level din yung pagiging cooperative. So, ito class, dito, nagmi-meet halfway both sides yung mga tao. No one fully wins, but no one actually fully loses. Okay? O loses. Walang nananalo, wala ding natatalo. Eto class ay useful for quick solutions or when both sides have the equal power. Okay? Pag pareho kayong may, pareho lang naman kayong may say, pareho lang kayong may magiging. Kaya kayo nag 50-50 sa isang decision. Halimbawa, work designation ng dalawang co-workers. Example, sa una kong work, hindi namin alam pareho yung trajectory nung ginagawa namin kasi hindi rin sa'min parang masyadong, nalinaw ito. Kaya we decided to split the task na meron kami regardless of the positions that we are holding. I am the project technical assistant 1, project technical assistant 2 siya. Nag 50-50 kami ng gagawin kahit hindi ideal yung setup. So yung mga mahirap na trabaho sa akin, nahati, napunta sa kanya iba. Yung mahirap na trabaho sa kanya, nahati, napunta sa akin. Ganun namin pinagtulungan. We both compromise. Medium level yung pagiging assertive, medium yung pagiging cooperative. 50-50 siya, class. Okay? Now, class, punta na tayo dun sa panlima. Ito yung mataas na. High assertiveness and then high din yung pagiging cooperative. Anong nabubuo dyan? That is collaborating. Okay? And dito, class, dito nabubuo yung tinatawag nating problem, problem solving. Okay? Sa panong paraan? 'Di ba nga high ang pagiging assertive and high din ang pagiging cooperative. So you both work together to find a win-win solution for both of you. Okay? Both sides needs are met through what we call open and effective communication. So etong collaboration class, this is best for long-term and then important and then complex problems. So sa ganun to pinaka-effective. Halimbawa, two project partners discuss openly in order for them to find the most creative solution doon sa kanilang problems. That is what we call collaborating. Hindi nyo na kino-compromise pareho yung inyong pangangailangan at hindi nyo rin hinahayaan na hindi kayo makakooperate towards doon sa parang solution na nakikita ninyong sagot doon sa inyong problems or doon sa inyong conflict. So, naiintindihan ba natin ngayon, class? Ano nga ulit tong lima na to? The competing, accommodating, avoiding, compromising, and collaborating. That is, these are the 5 strategies on how to handle conflict according to Thomas and then Killman. Okay? So, yon. Natandaan po yan, class. Pumunta tayo dito. Role of communication in conflict resolution, parang to wrap up lang. Using communication, issues will be addressed immediately. Alam na natin yan. You can communicate your feelings and perception with each other. So, reduction of anxiety then due to resolving conflict because naipahahayag mo kung ano yung mga pangangailangan mo. So, the tendency to be anxious class is mas bumababa. Next, you build trust and the and foundation of good relationship sa iyong kasama sa trabaho or kasama sa organization. Now, puntahan natin naman yung tinatawag na role of communication in social mobilization. When we say social mobilization class, it's so when you try to drive a large group of people for a change. Okay? Tignan natin. Puntahan natin. Role of communication in social mobilization. Through the use of communication, we can assist in the delivery of resources and services that will strengthen the community participation. Example nito class, tree planting, volunteer projects, mass works kung saan mga tao nag-volunteer lang. Okay? So, yon. Ano-ano yung role ng communication dito? Number one, communication will inform and enhance the knowledge among the general public. Kasi class, yung mga communicators naman commonly class na nag aim for social mobilization, they have the background na rin. Kung ano yung gusto nilang makuha o gusto nilang maiparating na information. They have the background on it and that is why they inform the general public then about that towards the change that they want to see. Next, individuals or organizations can take action for the social development of the rural communities. Next, communication aims at improving the health literacy, okay, and status of individuals and participation. Okay? Class, lagi nating tatandaan, hindi siya consider as social mobilization if you do not make the other people to actually participate and act for that change. Because social mobilization is all about acting for change. And dito rin natin nakikita yung very essence of development communication. Okay? So, ngayon, puntahan natin class. Ang role naman ng communication, ito na yung pang-anim, at susunod na dyan, yung role of communication in development, yung pang-pito na idadagdag natin, okay, sa role of communication. Communication in governance and values class na tinatawag. Role of communication in governance and values. A key aspects of governance, tawag dito, makinig lang ha. A key aspect of governance is how citizens, leaders, and then public institutions relate to each other in order to make changes. So without communication class, it will be difficult to be responsive to the public needs and then to the expectations. Okay? So dito class, masas my opinion about this or my insights about this as your instructor is that for me, communication is where the people, the ordinary people in the government ay nagiging equal. Okay? Dito sila parehong merong karapatan. Ang gobyerno natin ay may karapatang magpahayag ng kanilang mga layunin sa atin bilang mamamayan. At tayo namang mga mamamayan class, citizens ha, even the leaders na meron, and then the public institutions, the general sorry, the general public class, lahat tayo may capacity or tawag dito, may karapatan na ipahayag kung ano yung ating pangangailangan. So, ano yung mabubuo nating ano dito pala, therefore, yung conclusion, ano yung vital role ng communication? 'Di ba? Plus, without it, nakasulat na dyan, without communication, it will be difficult to be responsive to the public needs and expectations. Malabo ang lahat ng mga nakikita natin ngayon na policies, batas, governing rules, and regulations mag-exist kung wala ang communication. Yan yung lagi ninyong tatandaan. Ha? Okay. Next, tingnan natin ang mga roles pa na sinasabi. Communication helps the citizens to make demands on their government. I mentioned it earlier. And then, communication tools can enhance citizen engagement in the political system, in this great circle of the political world that we are living, the political society na meron tayo class, communication is a vital tool. And I will say it to you that communication also is politics. Paano ko nasabing politics? Because in communication class, lahat tayo, parang may hawak kang bola. Alam mo yung bolang nasi-shape mo, kung ano yung gusto mong maiparating sa taong kausap mo. That is what politics is all about. Hindi lang pagbuo ng mga pulisiya, kundi pagpapaniwala sa tao sa gusto nating maiparating. Tama, mali. So you reflect on that. Next, we have here, through communication, people rely on the government. At gusto ko lang ding idagdag, through communication, the government rely on its people. Sa anong anyo class? Pagbabayad ng tax, 'di ba? Pagbabayad ng tax, mga buwis, ano pa? Ah, yeah, lahat. So ito ay ang communication ay isang meeting point ng gobyerno at ng mga ordinaryong tao. So napakahalaga ng komunikasyon sa pagitan natin. Now, eto na class yung dagdag. The role of communication in development. Ito naman yung pinaka gusto nating maipakilala sa inyong konsepto sa talakayang ito. Ano yung role ng komunikasyon sa kaunlaran, 'di ba? Para mapaunlad mo yung bayan. Plus, eto, yung mga development strategies na ginagawa ng gobyerno natin, lahat yan ay naging under once ng mga communication approaches na sino ang may gawa? Mga communications major class. Okay? Hindi mga engineers, but those communication experts. Kaya nga may spokesperson, 'di ba? So yan, basahin natin 'to. A development strategy that uses communication approaches can reveal people's underlying attitudes and traditional wisdom, help people to adapt their views, to acquire new knowledge and skills, and spread new social messages to large audiences. So yun. Plus, these development strategies, yan ay parang isang suction. Paano ba? Vacuum, okay? These development strategies, ginagather niyan yung insights from the people through the different communication approaches, tinatawag. Doon natin nalalaman kung ano yung mga underlying attitudes ng mga taong ito, ano-ano ba yung mga wisdom na meron na talaga sila, okay? And how they adapt doon sa mga ini-introduce sa kanila na tawag dito, bagong mga konsepto. Okay? So kapag ito naipon ng isang gobyerno, they will conglomerate now or conclude into an idea. How can we transform these learnings na meron tong mga tao na to into something na beneficial for the country, okay? Or beneficial for them, okay? That's that is when they try to make or start to make um mga interventions, okay? Development interventions. Ano ba yung masasabi kong example niyan? Sige, gamitin natin yung sa DPWH, sa issue ng DPWH. Plus, yung corruption nag-sucks lang, it corrupts, it made the the very essence of those projects to actually collapse. Okay? Pero class, lahat yan, kung bakit nila nagawa din yun, nagawa din nila yun mag-corrupt ng ganun kalaking pera, class, uh, that is through the use of communication, the power of communication. Okay? Inalam kung ano yung kailangan ng mga tao sa isang komunidad na to, gaano kalaki yung maaari nilang magamit na pondo para doon, gaano ba yung i-allocate at gaano yung maibubulsa nila. Okay? So yan, 'di ba? So ano pala yung makukonclude natin? Communication can either make a country or actually break it. Kung paano, depende kung paano mo ito ginagamit at sa kung paano mong paraan ito magagamit. Okay? Ganun po ka-powerful ang communication. Lalo pa pag idinagdag mo yan sa iba pang aspect, halimbawa, sa konsepto ng siyensya, 'di ba? Kaya nga meron tayong mga tinatawag na science communicators class. science communicators. They know how to make complex ideas into layman's terms or into terminologies na maiintindihan ng mga tao. So yun, ganun po kahalaga ang role ng communication sa development. Kaya ano palang sinasabi ni Ma'am Jamie? Laging gamitin ang communication into something that will benefit the people of this nation. Okay? So yun po. Para hindi tayo nalilid into that failure, kagaya ng sa DPWH, napakadaming proyekto po ang kinurap. Okay? So yan, as DevCom, tayo mismo to, communication focuses on enhancing the interaction between the people, promoting the change that will impact positively on improving the living conditions of the members of the community. So communication must be used, class, sa benefit ng mas malaking audience. Palagi po nating tatandaan. That is the role of communication in development. Okay? So what can we conclude now? Eto, napakaganda ng mga conclusion natin. Parang, unang tatlo. Yung talking class, it says here that it's a basic instinct, but communication is a learned activity. You judge it, tama o hindi. You reflect on it. Now we have here, improving upon the ability to talk is to speak well and communicate effectively. And then, communication connects people together in society. It modifies the behavior and brings change, either a positive change or a negative change, into our society. So, ang ganda, di ba? That is the conclusion na meron tayo for this lesson. Okay? So, yun lang po. Tapos na tayo para sa discussion ng ating lesson number 9. Maraming salamat!